Hi babe, I am back with our alphabet series. So in the last video of our alphabet, I braided N, O and P. Today we are braiding Q and R in this video. So to start off with letter Q, I braid a circle. No, I section off a circle. I would advise you to make it a little bit elongated, like a little bit oval, not as round as mine, because mine look like the number 0. So elongate it a little so that it can look like O. Yeah. And when I was done with that, I went ahead and created a smaller circle inside of the big circle. That is what you're going to see in the video now. So when I was done with the smaller circle inside, you know where the tail of letter Q is supposed to come out from? You're going to section off just somewhere that the braid can pass through from the middle out of the circle, just as letter Q is. That was what I did. When you are done, starting from the point where you made that little cut out of letter Q, you're going to braid like an O around, leaving in the inner circle or the circle in the middle. Just braid completely until you reach that place where you made the little snip out. When you get to that cut, do not braid over the cut so that the handle of letter Q can come out from there. So when I was done with that, I braided everything inside the circle as one to braid like the handle of letter Q. You get what I mean? Because you can see it. So guys, please, in order to be supportive, I plead with you to not skip all my ads. If you're going to skip some of them, fine, but please don't skip all, because that is the way I make money from YouTube. Oh, and then I cut out like a little rectangle to elongate that snip out. Okay, that was what I did there. So as I was saying, if you do not skip all my ads, I can make some money from this video. If you like what you see, please leave a thumbs up, sharing the video, leaving a comment, leaving a thumbs up, and not like actually watching the video is a way to support the channel. So I plead with you, please help me benefit from my effort, and thank you. So I decided to use an accessory and just hold this down. You can use needle and thread and sew it down. If you're using string to accessorize your hair, you can just use it on the hair without sewing it down. If you don't want any of those, you can incorporate it into your braid. Whichever one is fine by you, that's nice. So this is the Q I was able to come up with. Next, I am going to start braiding letter R. So I make like the pillar, the long strong backbone of letter R. And when I was done with the line, I am going to section off the part for that tiny braid that you see in the beginning or in the finished product. So I am beginning to be strongly convinced that this extra teeny tiny braid adds a kind of flair to the or to your hairstyle. Whichever hair you incorporate like extra tiny braid, it makes it more interesting in a way. And so I just wanted to incorporate it into the letter R to just see if I can make it look not so plain and boring. It's just like a more interesting font of R. Okay, so now I am going to braid the top curve of letter R, like the stomach or the face or the cheeks, or it's whatever. I section that off before sectioning the main strong back of letter R. So I have done the tiny braid that is going to be near the bigger braid, and then when I am done, it helped me, it served like a guide for me to know where this big tummy is going to fit in, and also how big the bottom part of the letter R is supposed to be. So that was why I went ahead and sectioned that one off. So when I am done with this, I am also going to section off like a tiny section for a tiny braid again. Yes, again. You know, I like it. And then let me start with this top one for the stomach. So that's tiny, tiny, very tiny, just as small as you can afford to braid size. That's the size of hair you're going to part. And so I proceeded to make the same tiny braid for the lower part. Although you're going to see in the video at some point I took it down because I got feedback from someone and the person was like, this tiny braid is making your R look like a B. So if you can actually carve yours out more, it will not make yours look like a B, but I didn't want to redo the whole hair. So I cut off a little bit, a little hair past the backbone of letter R so that my braid can extend into that area. Just watching you understand what I mean. And then I am going to braid from there all the way over to the lower part of B. And now, I don't know, just trying something different, I decided to brush the whole hair and braid it into this section as just one, and I think I like it. I didn't fast forward through this so that you can see what I am doing or what I mean in my explanation, because this can just look like magic if not explained well. So be careful so that your letter R will not look like letter B. But if I braided this as a B, guys, this is a damn beautiful letter B. Like, if this is a letter B, it's a hot B. It's a hot B. It's a cool, like the finest B I've ever seen braided. I've already braided from letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. The videos exist on my channel. I have them in a playlist, so if you want to form like a word, a even if you just want like your initials, like a letter, I have it covered. Just check that playlist, all the letters are there. I will continue this until I get to the letter Z. I've already started numbers. I braided 0, 1, 2, so I am going to complete it very soon. Oh my god, this looks so good. It looks good. That's a good looking letter R. I can see now that I'm editing this video. So as I was saying, just incorporate those tiny braids. When you reach where they should fit in, you will feel it, you will see where it should fit in. So this is a fine font of letter R. Like, it's a fine, like a 10. When someone is a 10, this letter is a 10 on its own. It's just chilling and it's fine. I messed up the line at the top section a little, but you know what, that's okay. I'm going to clean it up before the end of the video, but it looks fine. It looks fine. If that was a B, I wish I braided my B like this. My B was awful. Like, when I started off these letters, they were not looking this fine. As I proceeded, they began to look cool. And this year my this madam was telling me that tiny braid is making it look like an R. I took it off from the bigger one to see if it will make it more separated, for where it didn't make it bad. It didn't make it good. And then I let her, guys, does that tiny braid make this letter look like a letter B? Even up to this extent, she still said it made it look like B. So I just took it off because I've already showed you guys what I want to show you. But do you think it makes it look like a B? Does it look more like an R now? I think if that braid was inside, maybe it wouldn't make it look like a B. I don't know.